Thank you everyone for joining us for our final installation of Live from Costa Rica with the virtual visits to the properties. I'm here at Senda Monteverde. I drove up yesterday. Biggest thing to know is that the road is in really good shape. They finished paving the road all the way from where you turn off the main highway. It formerly, it was maybe 40 minutes on a bumpy gravel road, and that is all smooth and paved now, so it's in really, really good shape. It takes less than 3 hours to get here from San Jose now. I drove from Manuel Antonio, and it took just slightly over 3 hours. I'm going to start by sharing my screen, and as we've been doing, just kind of walk you through logistics, how to get here, give you a little bit of background about Monteverde if you've never been here. So looking here, if you can see my cursor, there's Little Monteverde. It sits up on the continental divide of Costa Rica, and it's, the name means green mountain, and it really is this oasis of vibrant green hills before you get to the plains of Guanacaste, which are a dry forest, more of there's even a slight pampas climate in some of them, and it's flatter, drier, and windier. Monteverde is fairly green and lush, and it sits up quite high. You're at about a little bit over 1,000 meters, so more than 3,000 feet in elevation. You'll see me when we're walking around. I have a long sleeve shirt on. I'm wearing leggings. After being down along the Pacific coast for so long, it's kind of nice to get up to a cooler mountain climate. And the area is interesting because where it sits on the continental divide, you have influences coming from the Pacific Ocean with cooler breezes, and then humidity, warmth, and moisture coming from the Caribbean side. So that kind of smacks into each other over Monteverde, creating the perfect environment for this cloud forest. And obviously, if you saw Costa Rica, you probably know this area. The cloud forest is really well known for not only the unique ecosystems, but also the species of animals, particularly birds that you see here. And I can attest, you see a lot of very amazing birds, even if you are a casual, oh, there's a bird type birder, which is more what I am. It's still a lot of fun to go out with a knowledgeable guide. Their enthusiasm for it is very infectious, and so definitely recommend that for anyone coming here. We'll get to logistics in a second. Lots of activities to do in the area. I might let Hans talk to some of that later when we're walking between the rooms, since we just practiced and my Wi-Fi is going to drop a little bit. But area is very well known for the hanging bridges. It's actually where zip lining was started in Costa Rica. So there's really cool, I think it's the longest zip line in Costa Rica is here in Monteverde. And since you're in the cloud forest, oftentimes you're going down it through this mist that you can only see a couple meters in front of you. So it's kind of a eerie experience, but definitely something to recommend to your adventurous clients. One interesting thing about Monteverde is there are no national parks. Everything is a private reserve. Makes it a little bit hard to do for scientific research in the area. There's a couple more hoops to jump through, but it gives you a lot of different options beyond just hiking through a national park. You have the hanging bridges, you have hikes to waterfalls, you have the zip lining, you have private reserves that are equipped for people in wheelchairs who have limited mobility. You have areas that are better for kids, and then you have some reserves like Coricancha, where I was this morning, where they have been kind of set up for birders. It was a former coffee plantation. They purposefully did not replant all of it. So you have these open areas where it's a little easier to see species. Outside of the wildlife, there's also a lot of cultural experiences in the area. Little fincas you can visit, to see a typical how Costa Ricans in this part of the country live on their farms. It's a popular coffee growing area. That's a good tour that you can go out on, the coffee experience. Horseback riding at sunset, which I'm doing this evening. I'm pretty excited about that. There's a delicious cheese factory. They're not doing tours right now, but you can go and buy locally made cheese products. Good farmers market. The town of Santa Elena is great just for walking around, and has a pretty good, not fancy. If you like mountain towns in the United States, where it's things are well done, the food is really high quality, people are warm, but the vibe is laid back. It's not pretentious. You're going to probably like Santa Elena and Monteverde. So great for clients who want to get out and explore on foot, walk around the town for a little bit. Just revisiting location-wise, it's less than 3 hours from San Jose right now. It's all highway driving. The road is in great shape. Your DMC can arrange the transfer for you. Monteverde, Senda can arrange it. Clients can drive themselves. From Liberia, it's about 2.5 hours, and from Manuel Antonio, about 3.5 hours. Driving on Fridays will tend to be a little bit busier because you have local traffic, but on the weekends or like Monday through Thursday, it's pretty fast to get around Costa Rica by car. And then just showing you on Google kind of where some of these things are. If you were to come land in San Jose, I'd say go up to Monteverde first, stay 2 or 3 nights, and then drive down to Arenas del Mar and Manuel Antonio. That route is a little bit over 6 hours of driving. From Manuel Antonio, you could fly home from Capos. You could do the 20-minute flight back to San Jose and meet your international departure, or you could retrace your steps and drive back to San Jose. The other option I like is if you're coming from Liberia, this is sort of like a one-way shot. It's only about 6 hours total of driving. And then from Capos, you could fly back to Liberia for your international flight. So those options both work really well. Where we are, the hotel, one of its strongest assets is where we sit on a hill. We're situated slightly above Santa Elena, so you can look down all the way to the Gulf of Nicoya. The sunset last night was absolutely beautiful. The water was turning pink, and the Nicoya Peninsula in the distance. And then you have a short walk. It takes about 15 minutes on foot to start getting into the heart of Santa Elena, getting to the microbreweries. There's a taco place I'm going to hit up for lunch. Lots of little shops too, so easy to explore around. And then you're also in close proximity to a number of different excursions. We have the Aguti Private Reserve, which Monteverde is adjacent to. This is a view of the main part of the lodge and this incredible fig tree, which Hans likes to refer to as the tree of life because it attracts so much wildlife. We'll show that to you outside. But so you can see kind of the sun hitting the front of the lodge, and that shot must be in the afternoon towards sunset. So really beautiful light in the property. We're adjacent to a private reserve that guests of Monteverde have complimentary access to. It's called the Aguti Reserve. I think they have approximately 3.5 or 4 miles of hiking trails. So guests can get up in the morning, take binoculars, borrow rubber boots like I have behind me if it's raining, and they can go off on a hike on their own. We also have a couple of short trails around the property, including this nice hanging bridge that if you have kids and, a 3-mile hike is going to be too much, just taking toddlers and young children around the property is a lot of fun. They've done a really nice job with planting, I think Hans said more than 5,000 native species on the property. So you have a ton of wildlife right on the grounds of Senda. Agutis, interesting squirrels, lots of birds, so many hummingbirds just right outside your window. This is just the trails of Aguti. Your guests are welcome to pick up a map. They just need to talk with the front desk, who are so helpful. Some of the nicest people, they just go out of their way to make sure you are well prepared and well informed about whatever it is that you want to do. And then overview of the property. So there's 24 standalone, well, I guess I should say there's 12 units. Most of them are divided into 2 accommodations. So it's kind of like you have standalone cabins with 2 units in each, and they share a central wall. All of the units have a private covered balcony, and the ones kind of over in this, I'd say this is sort of a line between 7, 8, and 9. From this area over to the right is where you start to get the views down towards Santa Elena and also towards the Gulf of Nicoya. Easy property to walk around. It's not huge, as you'll see when we do the walking tour in a moment here. But they do have golf carts available, electric carts to move luggage and transport clients who prefer not to walk. Or if it's raining, if the weather's bad and you want to come down and have a meal in Sapo Dorado restaurant, you just need to call and they'll send up a golf cart to get you. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. Haven't seen any questions come up, but just go ahead and ask away. Oh, there's the chat. Let's see.
I'll take it. I'll look at the chat.
Okay, great. So I'm going to turn my video off, mute myself, go out with my phone and find Tatiana, who's going to lead us on the tour. Bear with us for a second. We are probably going to drop the Wi-Fi 1 or 2 times as we're walking around the property. We were practicing it earlier. It's strong in the casitas. It's just not strong outside. So I'm going to step out for a minute. And then what I'd suggest is when my second camera comes on and you see from my phone, select that screen and use the 3 little dots in the upper right-hand corner and pin my screen. So if Hans talks, it still stays on my screen as the main video. Okay. Hi, Jill. Nice to see you again too, and you will like the changes. It looks very different from last time you were here.
Hi, everybody. For the ones that don't know me, I'm Hans Pfister. I'm the co-owner of Cayuga Collection. And so today we have a little bit of reversed roles. Normally it's me at the property and Kirsten at the office. So I'm really excited that Kirsten has been able to visit us at the hotels this week. You know, some of you joined us a couple days ago when we were together at Cura, or last week at Aguas Claras, also in Arenas del Mar. So we're just starting to finish this series of webinars walking around. So as Kirsten said, there might be a little bit of lack of stability of Wi-Fi when we walk outside. So Kirsten is just now walking into the gift shop and looking for Tatiana, and she'll take over again in a moment. You know, showing you around more of the public areas, the restaurant, the bar, and of course the Tree of Life, which is the blog that I wrote recently about this amazing tree. But Kirsten, you take over again, you know, with
Okay.
the team, and I'll jump in again once you are getting cut off.
All right, and are you able to hear us, Hans?
Hola, buenos días.
Yes, we hear you well.
Okay, great. Yes.
Perfecto. So, welcome to Senda. My name is Tatiana. I'm the guest experience coordinator of the hotel. And now we're going to start with the inspection at the hotel. Okay? So now you can follow me. I will give you some important information about us. And we're going to see first our restaurant, the bar, and then we can go and show you the rooms and the whole property around. Okay? Perfecto. So follow me, please. Excelente. So this is our bar and restaurant. It is called El Saco. So now we are at the bar. As you can see, this is a pretty nice place where we have some tables also if they want to have like dinner or if they just want to have like a drink. So this is one of the perfect places. And now over here, it's like the place where they can prepare all the drinks. We have ingredients over here. We work with local farmers. So our products are from Monteverde. Our philosophy is to use local products. So that's such a good thing of the hotel also. And here, as you can see, or as we can tell in Monteverde, some of the times it's like pretty cold, will be windy, and some of the days will be rainy. So we have like where you can have a really good time and where you can have a warm time with your family. So it's gonna be also such a good thing. We have like one also in this corner, and we will have one more for you to enjoy.
Go over to the lobby.
So now we're going to show you our lounge. So this is our lounge. It's a place where our guests can have a relaxation time. If they want to have like a cup of coffee, if they just want to have a drink, or if they want to work in the computer, or if they just want to read a book. So this is one of the places we have where they can go. Okay? Perfect. And over here, you will find our restaurant. So this is the place where you can have breakfast, You can have lunch, and also you can enjoy a really good dinner. Perfect. So we can go downstairs. So now we have like different configuration of the tables by the pandemic, right? So we have to set the distance of the tables. So now it's like a little different, but we'll have a really good space for you. And also from here, on sunny days like today, we have some tables at the terrace where you can have breakfast, lunch, or if you want to have dinner outside, we can do it and enjoy the view.
The sunset was very pretty last night. I can testify to that.
And also if it's like a little windy or if it's a little cold outside, we are more than able to bring one of the fire pits over here. If they want to have like a special dinner, we can do it right here.
Can you, as we walk that way, can you tell people a little bit about what you're able to do for yoga or wellness?
Perfecto, claro que sí. Con mucho gusto. My pleasure. Okay, perfecto. So also about the restaurant, we have a really good menu. Now we are working with the QR. We have a different use of the menu by the pandemic, right? But we also work with local farmers, we work with up to date. So everything is gonna be like fresh, products will be fresh also, and everything is gonna be pretty good. And in the back of the house, we also have like a huerta, a place where we grow up the lettuce, we have mint, and we have also all the ingredients we use in the kitchen and also in the bar for the drinks.
Nice.
Okay, perfect. So now,
there's the beautiful tree again. It's too big to get in the shot.
it's like a perfect place, and also children, they really like the tree. It has little holes so they can climb.
Oh, nice. Fun.
It's a fake tree. Actually, we made like a block of the tree. So if you want in Cayuga, at the webpage of the Cayuga collection, you can see more information about the tree. But when it has some fruits, there is a lot of birds, a lot of animals around. So it's such a pretty good tree. Okay, and now we are at the reception. So the reception is open from 6 to 10 p.m. So any questions, concerns, anything you need, feel free to come over. Also, we have a little shop, and the products, like the 80% of the products are from Monteverde. So we work with local farmers, with local producers. So it's gonna be also
Nice.
a good fit. Okay.
Yeah.
Hello.
Just gonna show quickly. So there's the reception, and then I'll just take you in. Oh, you can hear my mind. Okay.
Excellent.
That's
Also,
good.
right here, as you can see, after we have a yoga studio. So it's a place where we use it for movie nights for the children, activities for the children, meetings, and we also during the week or during the month we have complimentary yoga classes. So that's a perfect place to do that. And also we have yoga mats, we have blocks, and we have some items they can use if they want to make exercise. So they can do it by themselves, or we can prepare a yoga class for them. All right.
Let's go this way. Most of this one.
Kristen, we might lose you here. So while you're walking, maybe I'll just, explain a couple of things as we go along. Is that okay?
Yeah, please
so
do.
You can see still the visuals of them walking through the beautiful gardens. that are right next to this Aguti reserve. So of course there's a lot of wildlife present within the gardens. Most of it, you know, is active in the early morning or in the late evening, as it happens to be. But I just shared with you my blog about this fig tree. So this fig tree about a month ago was having lots of fruit, fig fruit, and I mean it was just absolutely crazy. I was there, and you know, to see the amount of animals that you know would visit that tree during the day, birds and mammals and insects and everything was just absolutely mind-boggling. So the fig tree has fruit about 3 times a year. So this is not a one-time thing. It's kind of hard to predict when it is, but if you're there during that time, it's quite amazing. But even like that, the tree is still home to many species, and some of the local guides actually stop by the hotel before they go on their tours into the reserve to show the famous Senda tree. And as Kirsten said, we have planted in these hotel grounds by now almost 5,000 local species. Kirsten, maybe just wait before you start the tour, so I finish my speech, and then we'll go into the room and we'll. Yeah, you get this. So again, you know, there was a little bit of a view of the garden. Maybe Kirsten, take a look at the garden out. You know, from when you're sitting on your deck, you know, you really feel like in the middle of vegetation, and have this Aguti reserve next to you. This hotel is special in the way that it's very sustainable because it wasn't built new. It's one of the oldest hotels that was operating in Monteverde, but it closed about 10 years ago, and then it was just abandoned, right? You know, so the current owner bought it about 3 years ago, and then we did a total renovation, made it, you know, upgraded it to make it more youthful, more modern, not so stuffy like some other places in Monteverde might disappear. So we really wanted to create a mountain lodge that's a little bit more, yeah, contemporary, but still valuing the local flares. So yeah, Kirsten, go ahead and take a look at the rooms and explain to them a little bit more about that.
All right. Tatiana's turning the lights on.
Perfecto. So now we are going to start with the rooms. So we have 28 rooms in total in the hotel, 4 types of rooms. So this is the standard one, which is called the superior room. So as you can see, it has a king size bed, it has sofas for you to enjoy the view, it has the activity table, and about the complimentary benefits we have in your room. So the minibar is gonna be included. So it's a complimentary minibar. All the rooms have a minibar. All the rooms have a coffee maker. All the rooms have the heat for the water. And also it comes with the snacks. We have heater in the rooms for the cold nights, and also we have extra blankets, and also we have the safe. So it's a pretty good room, and also the laundry. We have the laundry service. In some of the rooms for the guests will be the laundry included, but yeah, so we do also have this service. And all the products in the rooms are going to be also organic. So that's part of the sustainability efforts of the hotel. So this room, this type of room, it's a perfect room for couples or for couples and a baby. We also have. So yeah. All right.
Such a beautiful day with the sunshine.
I know. I wish I'd be there. It looks so beautiful.
And one more time, this room category is the
superior room.
Okay.
Or the standard room.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Perfect. And also about the protocols we have. So we have like antibacterial spray in the rooms. We have alcohol in the rooms, and also all the rooms will have the safety seal, which means the room is safe for the travelers. So that's part also of the things we are doing different right now. And also when we bring you to the room, the concierge will bring you to the room, but they will just get to the balcony. They are not getting into the room, okay? Perfect. And also about the suitcases, the delivery of the suitcases, so they will bring it to the terrace. They are not getting into the room, okay? Perfect.
One of the things I really like about Senda, and this is a little bit the question that was in the chat about, you know, how remote is it? I mean, it kind of feels remote when you're in the gardens and, you know, there's these trees behind you and this reserve behind you, but you're really just a 15-minute walk from town. So it's a nice like afternoon thing to just walk to town, have a coffee, have a beer, you know, kind of buy something, help the local community, you know, with a purchase of some, you know, art or a shirt or, you know, whatever you feel like. So I like the idea that we're close to all the attractions, but we're also close to town. So it's really like a very central location, but there's no, you know, there's nothing really going on around. So it's quite calm, you know, in your rooms. You sit on that deck as where Tatiana was showing you, have a cup of coffee, you know, you wear a sweater. You know, it's funny how, you know, Monteverde is obviously a much cooler climate because of its elevation than what you would typically expect in Costa Rica on the beach locations. But actually people enjoy this. You know, Kirsten was telling me in Cura yesterday, it's like, well, I'm looking forward to wearing my sweater again because I've been hot for the last few times. And Costa Ricans have come a lot during COVID while the hotels the airport was still closed for foreigners. So we've had a lot of Costa Ricans discover Monteverde and really enjoy that feeling. And so it was funny. A couple of weeks ago for Valentine's Day, we were completely booked with Costa Ricans that wanted to spend, you know, this romantic weekend in the cold. You know, so that was like a real attraction. But yes, so it's definitely a very different thing. I always say you haven't really seen Costa Rica if you haven't seen Monteverde, because some people think that Monteverde and Arenal are kind of the same thing, and they're absolutely not. You know, Monteverde is cloud forest, which is a completely different ecosystem than what you have in Arenal, which is more rainforest because it's much lower. It's hot in Arenal just like it is in let's say in the coast or similar. So I think that that definitely that visiting the cloud forest and combining with other places in Costa Rica is something very, very special. And then Senda has one, you know, Monteverde and Senda have one big advantage, which is it's much closer to combine with the places along the coast than Arenal, because Arenal, while it's really just, you know, a few kilometers away from Monteverde, it's on the other side of the mountain. So for example, to get from Manuel Antonio to Senda, as Kirsten said, it's a little bit over 3 hours. But to get from Manuel Antonio to Arenal is, you know, easily 5-hour drive. So if you want to cut down on driving time with families, we definitely recommend that you look into Monteverde. I think it's still undersold. You know, Arenal is still the big thing that everybody's talking about. But we have seen, and especially now recently, we've seen a lot of agents book this combination of Monteverde, Manuel Antonio with Senda and Arenas del Mar. And the people that have come through have been super happy and really like that combination. Okay, I think we're up in a premium suite, right?
We're at the junior suite.
Junior suite, okay, there you go.
Perfect. So this is the second type of room. It is called junior suite, and it's a perfect room for families. It has a king-size bed and it has a sofa bed. And if it's necessary, we can add like an extra bed. So it's gonna work for 3 or 4 people. Perfect. So we have the main bedroom. It's a king-size bed.
And the main difference between the premium suite and the junior suite is a little bit of size, but it's a separate bedroom from the living room.
Exactly. So this one is gonna be a little bigger, and it has the bedroom separate from the living room. So it's gonna work for families, so the parents, they can stay in their bedroom and the children can stay in the living room, so they are gonna sleep separate.
And how many people can this accommodate?
Will be 3 to 4 people.
Quick bathroom shot.
So the
Alright.
sofa is a twin sofa, so it will be like for children. That's why we suggest this type of room for families. And we can add like an extra bed, and that's gonna be also a queen bed for children. Okay,
Nice.
okay. But in all the rooms we have also the same as the minibar, the coffee maker, and the heat for the water. Also in all the rooms we have solar panels for the heat of the water in the shower. So that's gonna be also part of the sustainability of it.
Nice. You can come back and turn the lights off.
So, and also here, you can tell we have the coffee plantation. So it's gonna be located right here. So we have baby plants. Perfecto. So we can keep going.
So while they're walking again, you know, you've meeting Tatiana, and she's a great example of you know, what we do at the Cayuga Collection in terms of investing in people. She started as a reception, and she's done a really good job. And when she heard that we're opening a new hotel in Monteverde, she asked to be transferred there because her boyfriend is from Monteverde, and that gave her the chance to move back to, you know, to where her boyfriend, I think soon to be husband, is from. And then she started as a receptionist and worked her way up to supervisor, and now is just our new guest service manager at Senda. So, you know, really proud of how these young local women are just excelling and doing such a great job. And I think you can feel her enthusiasm and her energy of showing and just wanting to take care of the guests that come. So I hope that when you visit, or I think some of you have been there already, like Kirsten mentioned Jill, and she might have met Tatiana when she just started. So yeah, it's really, really important for us to make sure that you get that feel from that energy from the locals, and definitely in Monteverde you get that a lot, because they're just wonderful people up in the mountains that really so proud to share their culture, their nature, you know, and everything that makes Monteverde so special. Okay, I guess Kirsten and Tatiana can take over again.
Perfecto. And finally, we are at the Senda suite, or the family suite. So this is the biggest room in the hotel. It's the perfect room for families. So it has 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and it's for up to 6 people. And also it has the sofa bed, and if it's necessary, we can add an extra. So it will be for 4 to 6 people.
This way. Sorry, I just turned you all around in a circle.
We have one of the bathrooms over here. So they also are going to be like separate. And the same as the other rooms, we have the minibar, the coffee maker, water, and this is the main bedroom.
How the suite look?
It's 2 windows, only 2. And it also has it.
Yeah, so this one's a little bit more private, and then the other one is higher on the hill. It's the highest point of the property, so then you have the kind of panoramic view over Santa Elena. Second bathroom.
And also in all the rooms we have like the hair dryer and the safe, and all the rooms we have like the same, but will be a little different one of the other ones.
And because Senda is chilly in the evening, you guys do something nice with turn down service, which I really like.
Yeah, so we have for turn down service, we have like a little bag which is full of hot water. So we used to put that on the bed all night. So when they get back to the room, they will get in the blankets and they will feel it a little hot. So that's gonna be also a good thing of the hotel.
It's so cozy and nice.
Sí.
Okay, are you still able to hear us, Hans?
Yes.
We could finish here since we are just going to lose service walking back down to the main lobby.
Okay, sure.
Any questions?
So,
thank you to Tatiana for doing such a great job.
thank you, Tatiana. Okay, we got questions here. Not only nice, Monteverde, not only nice break from Costa Rica heat and humidity, is also a great place to introduce birds to non-birds, easy to access, absolutely. A comment from Glennon, Troy. I'm just like Kirsten, I'm also not a birder, but to see a quetzal, to see a bellbird, it's really, really special. It's something very, very exciting, very special. So absolutely the idea here of getting people excited about the cloud forest and all the wildlife that's there is something very, very special. And then, it's really, there's so many things to do. You could just spend a week here and do something different every day, different activities. So it's a very active place if you want it to be, but it's also a very calm place if you want to sit on the terrace and work. Tatiana, right? We have a couple of guests that have spent with us several weeks and are working from Monteverde because they're like, well, working at the beach sounds great, but the humidity and the heat, maybe that's not ideal. So I think we've had a couple of people that have spent with us quite a bit of time that are working from Monteverde. So the other thing that one of my favorite activities that I did with my daughter when we just had reopened during the pandemic was the tour that's the tree climbing. So we've gone on the hanging bridges and the canopy tours, and those are all great. They're all great fun. But we were looking for something a little bit different, so we went on this tree climbing trip. So there, these trees, and there's kind of a props that you can hold on to and climb these trees that are about 30 meters high. You're obviously in a harness. You're secured, and when you get to the top, you ring a bell. So that's a really fun thing for a family that wants to do something a little bit more active, and you really feel a sense of achievement once you've climbed these amazing trees and have the view from the top. The other thing that I did recently, and I also can share that blog. We had a Costa Rican television team at Senda that were doing a report on the impact of tourism and on the local community. So we visited several small businesses, and they're all explained how important tourism is for the community and how terrible it was, to not have tourism in the past, for a few months last year. And so one of my favorite places to visit was this local guy that was an employee at the bank in Monteverde, and then decided that his real passion is to make cheese. So his family actually sold milk to other people that then would make cheese, but he's like, we're not really making any money on that. Let's make cheese, So he taught himself how to make cheese, making amazing cheeses. We're serving them at the restaurant, super creative, very, very well done. And then he realized, well, I can actually, show people how I make the cheese. And so he says, I went from just making it barely, and making a few cents on every liter of milk that I sold, to really doing well making cheese, and then really doing well showing tourists how I do make the cheese. So this is just a small example how tourism done right is, of course, what we try to do at Cayuga, can really have such a positive impact on the local communities. And we can, clearly document that in Monteverde, but of course in the other destinations as well. But the TV team, it then aired on prime time in Costa Rica, and we got a really lot of great response on that. So yeah, invite you to also be part of that community tourism. Get out of the hotel, explore. Like Kirsten said, she's going to go eat somewhere else. This is something that we encourage. We want people not to be caught in between walls in an all-inclusive. We want them to go out. We want them to experience. We want them to connect. We want them to experience with the community. So yeah, definitely. I mean, maybe you hear it. I'm very excited about Monteverde. I'm very excited about combining it with the other Cayuga Collection hotels. So anything you need from us to make that happen, any additional information, any tour information, or anything, let us know. Write to Kirsten, write to me, write to the hotel directly, to the team at reservations, and we'll make it happen for you.
Yes. So I think if there's no more questions, we'll wrap it up, and I'll follow up with the recording and all of the information on what you can do in Monteverde.